I'm not that worried about it because, man, is he boring. Like, it's very hard to, like, actually absorb anything Obama's saying. You're just going, like, come on, dude. You could drive through those spaces between words. It's just like, we get it. You're important, historic, but try to speed it up a bit.
His administration's done. His foreign policy's done. So anything he does right now just doesn't mean anything. And this is almost like trying to get the last word in a conversation you lost. Like, your mama. That's basically what Obama did. We kick out the diplomats, but it doesn't affect anybody.
Gutfeld and Tyrus just cracked open a political piñata, and guess whose name came tumbling out? Barack Obama. Yep, the man who turned coolness into a campaign strategy apparently has a secret so wild even the teleprompter flinched. This wasn't just a talk show moment. It was a full-blown political expose wrapped in comedy gold. Whatever they uncovered had half of Washington clutching their coffee mugs in slow motion. Because when Gutfeld starts grinning like that, you know someone's about to get roasted. And this time, it might just rewrite the cool president story forever.
Really, the most boring person on the planet. And that says a rule of thumb, though. When they say it's both sides, it's...
The previous segment, we talked about when his publisher told him to speak, and when he got to talk for himself. This is another example of a brother having to talk about something that they...
If you're watching this, hit subscribe, because what Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus just did might be their boldest act yet. The Fox News duo of chaos and charisma peeled back another layer of DC's mystery onion, and this time it reeked of something presidential. Oh yes, the name floating in the political mist wasn't Biden or Trump. It was Obama, the man who once made no drama a personality trait, apparently has been keeping one colossal secret.
Could cut a rug. Look at Syria, Iran, ISIS. I'd say his best move was the chicken dance.
Oh boy.
And Obamacare, a hustle. Don't worry, sad stars. Obama isn't really going away, though. He can always keep playing a president on TV. He'd probably do a great job, or at least do less damage. So, Hollywood will miss Obama. But what will Obama miss? Donald Trump, ISIS, American dissent? It's hard to miss something you didn't see coming or going in the first place. The rise of ISIS, the pernicious spread of Islamism, flourished under the president. These are the things that he
Not just any secret. The kind that makes Gutfeld smirk like he just discovered Area 51 sells souvenirs. You know that look? The one that says, "Oh, I've got something spicy." It's the same look your cat gives before knocking over a glass for no reason. Pure chaos energy.
Well, you also missed the fact that he also unfriended Obama on Facebook. So this is laughable. Unfortunately for our president, who's done, and they know he's done, and these sanctions mean absolutely nothing. When these sanctions came out, his phone buzzed. He got a DM from probably Donald Trump saying, "Don't trip, I got this. We'll fix it, after the 20th." And he went, "Okay, cool, we're good."
And there's Tyrus, part human lie detector, part sarcasm machine, sitting there with his arms folded like he's guarding the nuclear codes of comedy. Because when these two start digging, it's never gentle. It's a roast served rare, marinated in conspiracy, and plated with a side of Fox News flair.
Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying.
What?
Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front and Kamala was in the... And, oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and one term.
It's so funny. Dana, and meanwhile, you have Hillary, no term, sitting there, and she's just away from her two-term Trump.
Hey, but she...
So what's the big Obama secret? You think it's something simple, like a Netflix project or a new memoir? Think again. Gutfeld and Tyrus dove deep. And the theory? That maybe, just maybe, Obama never really left the driver's seat. Officially, he's painting, producing documentaries, and reminding the world he once had approval ratings higher than the Eiffel Tower. But unofficially, his fingerprints might still be all over the playbook. Subtle whispers, perfect timing, eerie coincidences. All roads seem to lead back to the Obamas. Biden stumbles on a line. Must be Obama's teleprompter ghost. Gas prices go up. Obama's shadow strikes again.
Tuesday, he spoke to the Economic Club of Chicago, where Crain's columnist Greg Huns noted a startling comparison of Trump to Hitler. Huns paraphrases what he heard President Obama say. We have to tend to this garden of democracy or else things could fall apart quickly. That's what happened in Germany in the 1930s, which despite the democracy of the Weimar Republic and centuries of high-level cultural and scientific achievements, Adolf Hitler rose to dominate. 60 million people died, so you got to pay attention and vote. So, Nazi...
Gutfeld called it the invisible presidency, that quiet command that doesn't need podiums or press briefings, just a few phone calls and poof, national alignment achieved. Obama turned politics into a subscription service, Gutfeld joked. You may not see him, but you're still getting billed monthly. Meanwhile, Tyrus leaned back with that told-you-so smirk, connecting every dot like he'd cracked the Da Vinci Code. Because really, it does feel like the man left the office but kept the Wi-Fi password.
The website, I think, was $29 a month for the fiddling crew. I don't think the American people are glad to see that one go, but when Kennedy acknowledged earlier that Joe was going to be taking this over. So they put the two most easiest things to cut off that there was no victory. And I think he understood that, because let's remember, when he got out, when his term was up, he did not endorse Joe Biden because Joe Biden was crooked and was fleecing the country then on his neck.
And that's what blew people's minds. Obama's somehow the only guy who retired from politics and still runs the plot. Everyone else fades into memoir tours and charity boards. Obama? He's the brand that never stopped trending. Gutfeld called it Obama, the Legacy series, complete with sequels, spin-offs, and a documentary narrated by his own charm. Even if he is secretly pulling the strings, how do you get mad at that? The man makes manipulation look like mindfulness. He could hide a government operation and still get praised for his Spotify playlist.
It's like, how could this be bad? And you have cheap natural gas, but he is terrified of, I think, the environmentalist factions in his own party.
Being
He can't
not cool.
say, yeah, being not cool. That's what it is.
Thank you.
That was a good heckle.
Heckle.
Yeah, but that's true. No, he's scared. He is scared of that's part of the problem. Is environmentalism is perceived as a cool.
Of course, social media exploded. Every time Gutfeld and Tyrus drop a theory, Twitter turns into a detective agency. Some folks rage, others laugh, and the rest grab popcorn because, let's be real, this is better than Netflix. The wild part? It's almost believable. Gutfeld even joked that Obama's got a make it go viral button hidden somewhere in Martha's Vineyard. The man could post a sandwich photo and start a week-long national debate about symbolism.
Black president, you get that, oh, I can't have any problems. And Joe was like, don't worry, I'll get all the problems for you, all the smoke. So when he was doing that, you can tell it's disingenuous because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing instead of saying, look, I'm going to put this moron who's going to steal and make it way worse. And now we've seen from that date, from that time, how big the spending and ridiculousness has gotten with Joe Biden's fingers always being around, with the exception of 4 years. So I think, and if you asked him if the camera turned off, he would have been like, man, I can't believe we're going to let this dumb be in charge of this stuff. You know he's going to screw this up right. That's exactly what would have happened.
Behind all the laughter was a truth that hit hard. People want to believe it. There's something comforting about thinking an adult is still quietly steering the ship. Chaos doesn't fit Obama's aesthetic. If he's really behind the curtain, you know the curtain's perfectly ironed first. And that's the real reason this story sticks. Because Obama's influence doesn't feel like politics. It feels like design. Smooth, calm, and weirdly inevitable.
Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about.
I think Obama appreciates Trump for saying what he wished he could say.
Well, not just that, and they also were both like, hey, we both won twice. So that
Yeah.
Tyrus cracked up imagining Obama Management Corporation, a leather chair office where every global crisis comes with a pre-approved statement and a smirk labeled Hope and Control. Because if anyone could run the world in secret and make it look easy, it's the man who made campaign speeches sound like poetry. Gutfeld said it best. Even if it's false, Obama still wins, because he lives rent-free in everyone's head. Whether he's the puppet master or just the myth, he's got the kind of influence you can't vote away. It's legacy turned into legend.
The most relaxing I've ever heard of him. Look, I think he's sexist. I think he's portraying his candidate as a damsel in distress. That somehow she's the target of all these things, when in fact she's responsible for all these things by having this email, this private server. And there's one thing too that he's ignoring, and a lot of people are ignoring, is that Team Hillary knew about Anthony Weiner before he resigned.
The funniest part? Obama doesn't even have to deny it. He just smiles. That calm presidential smile that says, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And the world loses its mind decoding it. That's the real secret. Not power, but mystery. Gutfeld and Tyrus weren't just stirring the pot. They were savoring every spoonful, knowing Obama's still the ringmaster in a circus that refuses to move on. Because when your greatest secret is that you might still be in charge, the smartest move is silence.
Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up when she cleans it. By
the weekend, the internet had imploded. Clips of the Obama secret theory went viral, chopped, remixed, memed beyond recognition. Some took it as gospel, others as satire. And Obama, silent as ever, which only made the rumors stronger. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't just expose a theory, they exposed America's favorite addiction, needing Obama to still be the main character. And the punchline? They didn't even have to prove it. They just lit the match and watched the world build the bonfire. Because in modern politics, the biggest secret isn't what's true, it's what people want to be true.